I decided to share this side of me, something I enjoy doing, something I noticed as a child. I always had a great interest in the biblical aspects. And one of the things that stayed with me is collecting Bibles. For some reason, I used to. Now I am very particular of a Bible that I may take into my library. If it's ancient, if it's old, if it's speaking, and I'm hearing some truths, because there's truths in all of these books. There is some point of truths. However, I've noticed the older the biblical books, and I say biblical books because a lot of us hold the Bible sacred, like that's the book, the life. It's a great book. However, I remind myself when I'm reading it, because it holds great treasures. You can learn a lot. However, you must keep an open mind that these letters and scriptures and Psalms and Chronicles and writings and teachings and laws compiled together, poems and songs compiled together and form the book called the Bible. And I said biblical books because there are many books that you can hold there too and say, ooh, the book, that book. There are books like that. And the Bible is one of them. Not the only one. It is. Once the reader understands the interpretation. And from my life journey, I've come to realize that there are many interpretations, depends on one life situation. However, there are many different life situations, and many of us may find ourselves saying, I see myself there. I was there. Yeah, I understand. Yeah. That Bible is talking about you. So here's my reminder before I read it, because it is a great book amongst many other great books. So I remind myself, the Bible, the Bible, is a great guide when interpreted as a book of mind science, which addresses the human mind and must be interpreted psychologically. And for the one who's wondering, psychologically, I mean, the Bible is the Bible. It is the Bible. It is a book compiled of many written forms that you can learn from. You sure can. This is why I think those books were selected and compiled together and called the Bible, Basic Instructions Before Leaving Earth. I should say basics instruction while living on earth. Because I give you an example. Interpreting the Bible psychologically. For instance, the ark built 3 stories high. One can say it's an actual ark that were built 3 stories high. I don't know. I was not there in that time. But I do know there's a scripture somewhere in the Bible that said there's a temple that is built without tools. And for the Bible fanatics, and I said that with great admiration, you can find that scripture. And that points to your temple, my temple, the living flesh. Ain't no tools building this. This is mind science. So when you read that great book and other great books, they call them scriptures. Many are omitted from the Bible. Many things has been added also. But as you grow and hold an open mind, you will see and know the truth as you become the truth within yourself. That truth leads you to all truths. So I'm talking about the Bible. It's something I was always interested in. Collecting Bibles, knowing that somewhere in this book there are knowledge, hidden truths, solutions. And there are. If one read and take the time to listen. And I was given an example of interpreting the Bible psychologically. So here's an example. I was talking about the Ark of the Covenant. That big boat that I believe Moses was told to build an ark. Noah. Noah. Okay. Now, some may say it's a physical ark. And as I was saying before, I was not there. I did not see it. This is what is being said. I can interpret it psychologically as 3 stories high, 1, the spiritual self, 2, the psychological self, and 3, the physical self. So the Bible, the holy books, the scriptures, the so-called lost books, there's a lot of truths, and you can learn a lot. A whole lot. And one of the topics that caught my interest, and I happened to read it from an old Bible, the Jerusalem Bible, and they talked about aliens. So I looked it up in another Bible, and there it were, the word aliens again. And for some reason, as I read, this word alien keep coming up. So I realized that we are in a time where it seems to be alienatic disclosure time. And I truly understand why these foreign beings, or I should say highly intelligent beings, took their time in coming forward to humankind. One, look how we treat each other. Wars upon wars. Nation fighting against nation. Right in your community, your neighbors, your family members. Wars upon wars. Fighting against each other. And you want to meet intelligent, extraterrestrial, alien life forms? I'm hearing Earthlings need to get it together. They need to express that great interest that they have in other life forces, in each other. I'm hearing, just like Black people need to get it together. Start loving one another. That's the only way you can love each and every one of each other. You have to love yourself first. It starts with the individual. Then the image you've been made of. You see yourself. I'm talking, right? It's time. Now someone is asking, where you see the word alien in the Bible? Many places. And some of them, their meaning is for, you can clearly see that they're explaining as a stranger. But one place caught me and made me think and say, And this is in the book of, I have to find the page. I turned and I have to find the page, my love.